Hey, welcome viewers to Food News and Chews. We've got a great show going on. What are we doing here today?
That's right. Well, it's our food news section at first. We've got stuff on
Love
GMOs. We got stuff about pigs. We got stuff about coffee and fair trade. All in all, it sounds kind of like a nice...
And rivers and, you know, whatever.
Sounds like a really good soup, right?
Yeah.
We also got Jason Morgan from the fabulous new JDI Grille Tavern on Broadway, a beautiful restaurant.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do a geeked out version of Chicken Waffles, something they do down there. We're going to do our version here on Food News and Chews.
Sounds good. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Kentucky's largest commercial restaurant equipment and supply store. Seaworth Superstore is a 15,000 square foot chef's treasure chest.
Seaworth Superstore is the store for those in the restaurant industry, churches, and catering. Find chefware, large equipment, refrigeration unit, about anything needed for a volume event. Seaworth Superstore, in business since 1954, offering free local delivery, so come on in and get hooked immediately.
And a complete line of chef apparel. Seaworth Superstore, located at 1403 Versailles Road and seaworthsuperstore.com.
Today's shoppers are informed. When shopping for the family meal, today's shopper chooses Critchfield Meats for fresh, all-natural quality meats, guaranteed. Make the right choice and visit our family before you feed yours. Critchfield Meats, the meat specialist, family owned and operated since 1969. That's a grade A choice, folks.
Worldly influenced, locally inspired. Azure Restaurant and Patio, contemporary fine dining in a relaxed atmosphere right here in Lexington. Modern award-winning dishes with a distinctive Kentucky twist from the mind of nationally recognized chef Jeremy Ashby. Voted best fine dining in Lexington. Azure is chef-created, chef-driven, and Kentucky proud since day one. Taste something unique at Azure Restaurant and Patio, Beaumont Center in Lexington. And see Chef Jeremy Ashby and Sylvia Lovely on the Food News and Chews, Sunday night at 11 on Fox 56.
Why do chefs choose Lyons Farm beef?
It's consistent, it's delicious, it's got great tenderness, and it's really good for you. This nutritional element of making healthy animals for healthy eating is a big component about why their beef is so delicious. I feel so lucky to be a chef in Kentucky because the best way to express care for someone is to make them something to eat, and I get to do that every single day.
Lyons Farm beef, available at Critchfield Meats and LyonsFarm.com.
Welcome viewers to Foodington News, one of my favorite things. We got to go fast. We've got a lot of news to fit
Yes,
in
we
here. And hey, the Hemp bill just passed in Frankfurt. I was proven wrong. I didn't think it would. And congratulations, Commissioner Comer.
That's right. This is great stuff for Kentucky. Now, this doesn't mean that there's going to actually be hemp grown in Kentucky, right, Sylvia?
Not bad hemp.
Kind of, I don't know if there's any bad stuff.
Department of Agriculture is going to actually administer it, and UK is going to do all this research. But what do we have to wait for?
We have to wait for the national federal level to approve uses of industrial hemp, right? Yeah. But in that sense, we'll be approved, we'll be ready to go. They'll be one of the largest producers there is.
Yeah, and they say there's actually people coming in. Now, we got some other news we need to cover here real fast. Grocery chains are saying no way on the big giant salmons.
Well, yeah, they don't want the GMO salmons, and that's just from public outcry, I think.
Yeah.
If you look at the labeling of GMOs in that issue, you can see across the nation people have said no, they want to have GMOs labeled. So companies are just taking it upon themselves, like Whole Foods.
And others are joining in, you know, and so it's good.
And GMOs, genetically modified organisms, they pretty much, if you stay in the outskirts of the aisles of the grocery store, you're going to be fine. Fresh fruits and vegetables. Meats, but if you get the processed stuff, you don't know what it's going to have.
And we should be clear: FDA has not actually approved giant salmons yet. They're still building the pens that they're going to put them on big ocean liners or something. Anyway.
That's right.
But whatever. But they haven't approved it. But if they do, we've got an issue going on. We got fair trade that's morphing. You know, fair trade in coffee. You see that everywhere when you're shopping. It started with coffee, right, and also some other type of, like, cocoa is a big one now.
And what we're dealing with is
farmer.
it gives gives the farmer and also the workers, fair conditions. They'll get a fair price. They're going to be treated fairly with labor laws. So it's actually a good thing from ground up. Just kind of make sure that people are getting the proper lifestyle, that are doing these, type of industrial or actual mass scale productions of raw goods.
But what they're doing is they're going to make the new generation is to allow them to participate in the added value.
Yes.
That's going to happen as a result of that.
That's right. Anyway, so I guess everybody gets a piece of the pie.
And you can read about it and go to foodnewsandchews.com and you can read more about it.
Right.
But we've got to do something. We've got to brag on you, Jeremy.
Hey, bring it on.
But even better than that, Dr. Pearse Lyons wants to brag on you from
Yes.
Alltech, and he's such an awesome guy, and they're one of our great sponsors. But anyway, this is about the James Beard dinner, and Dr. Lyons is going to come on in a moment. He's going to thank you officially and film this on his own. It was so awesome, and you won that chef's competition with him.
We did.
But you know what? Guess what? We're going to Nashville. Because you're going to do a James Beard
That's
dinner.
right.
And guess what? You're going to have all your friends.
That's right.
Road trip, everybody.
We'll be packing up Cleopatra style, and all my best friends are coming to dinner.
Where's that hillbilly truck, in the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah, watch out Nashville. It's going to be awesome.
But anyway, you're one hot guy, so
cool.
we're going to go, and we're going to listen to Dr. Lyons, and then we'll be back with Food News and Chews.
And as I travel the world, I get an opportunity to go to the great restaurants of the world. And then I come back to Lexington, Kentucky. And I always go to Chef Ashby's restaurant, Azur's. This year was particularly exciting because he linked up with Peter Elias from the Czech Republic, and they won the first ever Lions Farm International Chef Showcase, the first ever. Winning this is amazing. Winning this using our ingredients, our Lions Farm ingredients, is spectacular. And now, in these high-pressure situations that you get in these kitchens, Jeremy is going on to another high-pressure situation. And we want to wish him all the best. We're confident that when he goes into the Savor Nashville competition, the state of the bluegrass will be well represented by Jeremy. So Jeremy, good luck to you. Good luck to our friend. Show him how we cook right here in Lexington. Good luck.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Lyons. Is that cool? You are one hot guy.
Thank you very, very much for the well wishes down in Nashville.
Oh, it'll be so fun. The James Beard Dinner show is we're going to Nashville. We're going to show.
We're going to tape this event. I can't wait for you guys to see the nice food from all the celebrity chefs down there.
And
it's such an honor to be there.
It airs our show on this issue. I mean, right now we're going to Nashville. But on April 28th is when this show actually will air. So
stay tuned.
Yeah, we're going to have fun. And we'll be right back after break.
Advertise your product or service on shows like this one. Contact Media 7 Broadcasting today. Call 859-317-4565 or email sales@m7bg.com. Reach potential new customers in the Louisville, Lexington, and other Central Kentucky areas. Get your new ad produced for free by Media 7's audio and video professionals. Call 859-317-4565 today and let Media 7 create a marketing plan for you.
Jeremy, the restaurant startup business is challenging. We should know.
That's right. In business since 1954, Seaworth Superstore is the place to begin. Reconditioned equipment and the lease to purchase program can get you in and going in no time.
Seaworth, with its dedicated staff, can help you plan with CAD services that provide a successful layout.
Dan and his team will help you fill in the blanks with everything from soft drink machines to exhaust hoods. Come to Seaworth Superstore and make your dreams come true.
Located at 1403 Versailles Road and SeaworthSuperstore.com.
Hello, my name is Bob. Recently, I switched my business phone service to Glow Telecom. Now I'm saving over 50% on my monthly phone bills, over $2,000 a year. And I have a PBX phone system that would have cost me over $10,000. Unlimited calling to the US and Canada with no long distance charges. If you want to put money back in your wallet, call Glow Telecom today.
Call Glow Telecom at 888-428-0984. 888-428-0984.
Today's shoppers are informed. When shopping for the family meal, today's shopper chooses Critchfield Meats for fresh, all-natural quality meats, guaranteed. Make the right choice and visit our family before you feed yours. Critchfield Meats, the meat specialist, family owned and operated since 1969. That's a grade A choice, folks.
Worldly influenced, locally inspired. Azure Restaurant and Patio, contemporary fine dining and a relaxed atmosphere right here in Lexington. Modern award-winning dishes with a distinctive Kentucky twist from the mind of nationally recognized chef Jeremy Ashby. Voted best fine dining in Lexington. Azure is chef-created, chef-driven, and Kentucky proud since day one. Taste something unique at Azure Restaurant and Patio, Beaumont Center in Lexington. And see Chef Jeremy Ashby and Sylvia Lovely on the Food News and Chews, Sunday night at 11 on Fox 56.
Welcome to Food News and Chews. I'm so excited, Jeremy. I feel like I've been transported back in time. This is JDI, Jefferson Davis Inn, redone, and we have Jason here today, Jason Morgan, who's the owner-operator. But I got one thing I need to start out with
What's
Jason.
that, Sylvia?
Okay. Jason, I was reading the news article, and here's my resume.
I
I understand you have a job that I'm eminently qualified for. It's called dumbwaiter.
We do. We have a dumbwaiter.
I'm good at. Only thing
Hey,
I'd be
who needs
better at.
another broken thing in a restaurant?
Hey, dumb cook. Dumb cook would be the only thing I'm better qualified for.
You know, you're learning, Sylvia, but as of right now, I think you would qualify for that job too. I mean, sometimes me, but I catch stuff on fire all the time. That's right.
Okay, but anyway, let's get
We'll
going.
certainly
Jason.
give you consideration.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, Jason. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Well, guys, we're at JDI. We're on actually this wonderful new building right on Broadway. You can see it as you go by. It's a magnificent 3-story brick building, and it's right in the heart of right when you enter downtown. It's magnificent. I've been here twice. The food's outstanding. The atmosphere is incredible. This is the guy that decided to build it. Yep. And we wanted to showcase it just today to make sure that everybody knew about it. Sure. Come in and see it. So, yeah, thank you.
Tell us about it. Tell us about the dream.
Well, it's kind of a combination of my twin brother, Jeff Morgan, and I, and we decided to try to reinvent the Jefferson Davis Inn, which was originally located at the corner of Broadway and Limestone.
In the 70s, right?
And it's in the 70s, and actually made it through the 80s, and then unfortunately it burned down in the 90s. And Jeff and I, when we went to school, I was at UK and Jeff was at Transylvania.
Which is where Jefferson Davis.
That's right. Jefferson Davis, I believe he was 13 or 14, don't quote me on the exact age, but when he was a teenager, he went to Transylvania.
Yeah, and he lived in that building in the 19th century.
That's right, and there's still a historical marker there. And it's owned
Which is now a restaurant.
That's right, it's a Bombay India restaurant. But we had a good time, went there and had fun while we were in college, and so we wanted to try to bring
back.
That's good. Well, don't tell anybody, there's
not a lot of
no
fun.
pictures, right. But no, it was a good time, and we wanted to try to reinvent something that Lexington was fond of.
Icon,
yeah, right. Instead of doing the franchise type deal, we wanted to do something that Lexington would remember. So that's why we did it.
And you guys are doing it right, too. I mean, this I think you said your brother helped construct this, right?
He did, and we actually purchased the block, and we're doing some townhomes next to it. So it was a larger development project with the restaurant kind of anchoring, the block.
Yeah, and when's this slated to be done all around it?
The townhomes probably be done in August this year, maybe December.
And capturing an audience and a group of people that are really moving back toward downtown.
Yeah, it's kind of marketed towards the downtown professional, the graduate student and so forth, and reinventing downtown Lexington.
Yeah. Well, tell us about this place. Tell us how it's set up and all of that, and what my job's going to be as a dumbwaiter.
Well, we have a dumbwaiter system, and our kitchen is actually in our basement.
Yeah.
So the dumbwaiter system takes food up through the first floor and second floor bar. We're sitting here at the Bourbon bar, bar 24. And then we have a third floor that's actually a private room, a VIP room that we rent out for professional events, open it on Friday and Saturday night for VIP, Keeneland type events. But we move our food all the way up. So with the dumbwaiter system, we can efficiently get food piping hot up to every floor.
That's kind of historical too, because back in the days of Jefferson Davis and folks like that, that's what they had. The kitchens were located.
Right.
It's a good system. It works really. And then you guys definitely have a magnificent kitchen downstairs. I've been through it along with the rest of the building. I like the banquet facilities too. That seems like a major draw for a lot of corporations and people or anybody that wants to entertain. I've been here, like I said, twice already, and that's just a huge draw to go up there. I think you called it a lounge.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's got a living room area with leather furniture, but then it's got the pub tables too. It's got a smaller bar. All of our bars are custom made from a company called Harbor House out of Connecticut. So the first floor and the second floor are open to the public, and they're larger bars. But when you get up to the third floor, it's a very small bar. It's for service purposes, but that way you can have your nice bourbon and your nice glass of wine.
Quiet. Well, tell us about the food. Because I know you've got a name for it. It's called gastronomics.
Well, it's
what's that?
gastrology is the
Gastrology.
original study of kind of food and culture. And so a gastropub originates from England, and it's pub fare food, but higher quality, larger portions. And so we kind of consider our food gastro. We have a lot of pulled pork. My father is from North Carolina, so
Yeah, he's a famous barbecue kind
well,
of guy, right?
he'd like to think he is, and I'd like to make him a famous barbecue guy. But it's good pork. It's pulled. It's smoked right here on site, and then we do an array of cheeseburgers, and of course we do fish and chips, and then we have beer battered chicken. Unlike a lot of places that just bread their chicken, we actually beer batter it. Then we've got the standard fare of nachos and the quesadillas and stuff like that. But our one dish we've got chicken and waffles, and
it's to die
it is.
for.
It's good. When you have it, you may want to take a nap afterwards.
Yeah, that's a
And
solid
loosen your
dish
pants.
too. And chicken and waffles is a really neat combination. I think it came out of maybe the Northeast, and what happened was instead
that's
of
an
like in the
interesting
South we made biscuits and quick breads to go with things like that, and then people got a hold of waffles and waffle irons. So up in that area they would make quick breads with waffles and be an easy thing to go with your dinner, like a passing bread. So chicken and waffles, natural combination. The way you guys do it is fantastic. And I love how the menu's set up too, where things are kind of meant for sharing. The portions are big. It's an
those
atmosphere.
nachos are delicious
It's
too.
it's an atmosphere which promotes people being social and gathering at a
which is the
table,
whole
and there's
idea.
plenty to share and a great atmosphere to do it in. So
We do steaks too, and we have pork chops and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
you're right.
know,
It's an array of things because you could actually eat fairly healthy. Oh, it was good, but you know what I mean. You
I
can
know
eat just like a
exactly
pork
what you
chop
mean.
with mixed vegetables, or you can get like the nachos.
That's
They're
right.
this big.
with smoked pork on them. I mean,
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get chicken steak
And
or
I'm
pulled pork.
so glad to see you guys smoking pork on outside. I mean, sometimes I go and it's just some kind of pork product.
Yeah, we're going
or-
to show some of that. Tell us about what you've got planned for the future. What's your future?
Well, we are getting ready to open our patio. Of course, this has been one of the coldest marches on record. But our patio, we have a patio on both the Broadway and the Cedar Street sides. So that's getting ready to open. Of course, Keeneland's coming.
love
and,
patios in this town.
We're entertaining, maybe doing a brunch, starting to do a brunch, and maybe like a Bloody Mary bar for Saturdays and Sundays. So we're excited about that.
Now these windows that kind of cascade against the streets here, does that open up into the patio?
Everything does. As a matter of fact, the entire first floor has what's called a nano wall system, and that opens up to the patios. So during the proper weather, of course, the entire first floor becomes like a European cafe.
So I love that you're in like the heart or the
European
entrance to
cafe.
downtown. You've got the open walls and everything flows from back to forth. I can't wait to see that patio
Yeah.
open. It'll be someplace I'm going to be sitting out there on the weekend.
We actually opened it up. The Florida-UK game was
Yeah.
a really nice. It was about
Yeah,
70
yeah,
degrees
one
that
of the
day.
few.
That was our first time opening the patio doors, and it
Changed the
was
dynamic,
it
right?
was fantastic.
Oh, and you've got all the neighborhoods around, and people will start turning out.
hope so.
Real exciting stuff. So we're really thrilled today to have Jason here with us, the owner-operator, along with his brother Jeff and his mother Karen.
That's right.
And being here at JDI, and let's
Listen,
go have some pork.
You've got to come down here and see this place. It's absolutely beautiful. It's totally the kind of place that I want to hang out in, socialize with my friends, and get a few apps, have a few beers, and
We'll
just
be
have a great
back.
time.
Well, we
Yeah.
can't wait to have you back, and thank you so much. We really appreciate everything.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
And we'll be back in a few moments with Food News and Chews. Thank you.
Worldly influenced, locally inspired. Azure Restaurant and Patio, contemporary fine dining in a relaxed atmosphere right here in Lexington. Modern award-winning dishes with a distinctive Kentucky twist from the mind of nationally recognized chef Jeremy Ashby. Voted best fine dining in Lexington. Azure is chef-created, chef-driven, and Kentucky proud since day one. Taste something unique at Azure Restaurant and Patio, Beaumont Center in Lexington. And see Chef Jeremy Ashby and Sylvia Lovely on the Food News and Chews, Sunday night at 11 on Fox 56.
Hello, my name is Bob. Recently, I switched my business phone service to Glow Telecom. Now I'm saving over 50% on my monthly phone bills, over $2,000 a year. And I have a PBX phone system that would have cost me over $10,000. Unlimited calling to the US and Canada with no long distance charges. If you want to put money back in your wallet, call Glow Telecom today.
Call Glow Telecom at 888-428-0984. 888-428-0984.
Why do chefs choose Lyons Farm beef?
When I get things in the kitchen, I can tell like right off the bat. After I get done searing it or put it on the grill or roasting it or baking it or frying it or whatever I'm going to do, the second I cut into that thing, Whether it's the resistance on the fork or just the way it kind of slides across the knife. It's got to be right on from the get-go. And it seems like this beef does that every single time.
Lyons Farm Beef, available at Critchfield Meats and LyonsFarm.com.
Today's shoppers are informed. When shopping for the family meal, today's shopper chooses Critchfield Meats for fresh, all-natural quality meats, guaranteed. Make the right choice and visit our family before you feed yours. Critchfield Meats, the meat specialist, family owned and operated since 1969. That's a grade A choice, folks.
Hey, welcome back to Food News and Chews.
Yes, man, those chicken and waffles at JDI.
You had to come back and do it, didn't you?
I know. We'll have to come back and do it.
We're in Azure, right?
Yes,
By the way, we're in Azure's kitchen.
Yeah.
And
we're going to do our kind of geeked out version of the chicken and waffles. And we're going to make this kind of easy. Waffle, if you want at home, just use a waffle mix. I'm also going to post a recipe for an actual waffle.
On foodnewsandchews.com.
Yeah, waffle recipe for your own mix also. But I want to do kind of a geeked out savory version where we use some local white cheddar cheese into the mix. And a good amount too. I like to have a good cheesy waffle. And then also some fresh jalapenos into the waffle mix.
Now you're talking.
That's right. Integrate that in there. And at the last minute, I'll add a little bit of extra onion and garlic powder, so it's extra savory, not that kind of sweet stuff.
Oh, man.
Now, making the waffle mix is the easy part.
So you just go and buy your waffle mix at any grocery store.
Or you get onto foodnewsandchews.com and I'll give you a recipe for making your own waffle mix. Yep.
Oh, totally cool.
So into your little waffle iron, this one's going to be a thick kind of waffle, so I'm going to spoon it kind of in sections.
Yeah.
You notice your waffle's kind of broken up into sections, so is ours. We're gonna.
This is a southern kind of dish, right? As a southern adaptation. What's the history of chicken? How did anybody come up with?
Well, it's kind of known as soul food, but it really came over as the fact that a lot of people, whenever they did dinners like fried chicken, they wanted to use something with quick breads. So instead of making biscuits or muffins, the German influence in New York came over. They made waffles. So whenever those kind of cuisines meshed, to just do another way for a family dinner to have a quick bread. So close the waffle thing, we'll let that cook for a while, and then on to the good part, the chicken, the fried chicken.
Oh, yummy.
Now,
and there's this combination too of sort of waffly sweet things in
I love the sweet and savory,
like
sweet and salty,
sweet
yeah.
Yummy.
This is my favorite combination of flavors.
Or candy corn and salted peanuts. Out of this world.
That is a neat combination. So our chicken, we've marinated overnight in some very interesting ingredients. It makes it, it's what we use it for at Azure. It's called our bourbon fried chicken, right? So this has got buttermilk, some hot sauce, some tomato juice, and a lot of bourbon. It's been soaking in there overnight.
Now you're talking.
So whenever we go to this, we need to take this to the stove and pan fry it.
Okay.
And see how this comes out.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so now what do we do?
So we've got our marinated chicken in the bourbon, the tomato, the hot sauce. We're going to go right into the flour.
And that's just flour.
Right. One hand wet. If you notice, I keep one hand kind of wet. And then I'll switch hands and use the
Any seasoning
the dry.
in that flour, or are you waiting for the seasoning from the waffle?
The seasoning is in the flour. Salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of thyme and sage. Yeah. Whatever you like.
And
just use your
oil.
favorite. Yeah, you want to go into hot oil about 350 degrees. And pan fry. Instead of deep fry. I love the way a pan fried chicken comes out.
Oh, what do you mean? What's the difference?
Well, it just doesn't seem to be as overly, soggy when you pan fry something. It's got this nice, you want to get a good scald with high heat at first, but then it kind of just gets succulent as it browns up in the skillet. There's just something to it. So we'll let this cook for a couple of minutes, check on our waffle, and then we'll come by and plate it all up with the maple syrup.
That's right. I'm ready. I'm ready. And then we'll taste.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, we're back at it. You've got the chicken and you've got the waffle.
Chicken came out of the oven. It's nice and juicy.
Oh, it looks wonderful.
The waffle popped right out. Nice and easy, right? With
nice and easy.
Lots of cheddar cheese and jalapenos. Ooh. We can cut that into sections just for a neater presentation.
Never have too much cheese on anything.
Now, this is pure maple syrup. Yeah. It's a must-have, not the imitation table syrup or anything like that.
Pure Vermont tree.
That's it. That's what you want. Yeah. No substitutions. A little butter at room temperature, because I always like butter on my waffles. I mean, you want to mix that right into the maple syrup, so when you pour it on there, it all just kind of melts together.
How come you can make it look so good like that?
I got a special magic whisk.
You do.
That's it.
And I guess it's room temperature butter is.
Yeah, room temperature butter, or else it won't really work right.
All right,
so
let's
then
see
just
the
kind
sequence
of,
here.
you know, stack a couple up, and then
pretty.
layer your fried chicken in there. Finger seems to work better than whole pieces. Same thing with the top.
How pretty.
We'll save a little waffle for us, right?
Yeah.
And then don't be scared to put a lot of this stuff on there. You really want to cover it and watch that butter kind of start to melt in there. Of course, any kind of green you want. I like savory herbs like parsley, rosemary, and thyme.
Viewers, I'm ready.
All right, Sylvia, let's see how we did with this.
Okay.
And love JDI for the inspiration, because this is
they are the best.
Awesome.
Okay,
awesome.
now I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna get this and this. Oh, that is so good.
Is that good?
Man.
I got to check it out for myself. Jalapeno cheddar waffle, man.
This
I'm all about
television
that.
shows I maybe gained 3,000 pounds, but happily.
Yeah, really. See how we did.
This is great. We've been making chicken, and we're going to devour this just as soon as we're off air. It's been great being with you this week. We'll be back next week with Food News and Chews.
Worldly influenced, locally inspired. Azure Restaurant and Patio, contemporary fine dining in a relaxed atmosphere right here in Lexington. Modern award-winning dishes with a distinctive Kentucky twist from the mind of nationally recognized chef Jeremy Ashby. Voted best fine dining in Lexington. Azure is chef-created, chef-driven, and Kentucky proud since day one. Taste something unique at Azure Restaurant and Patio, Beaumont Center in Lexington. And see Chef Jeremy Ashby and Sylvia Lovely on the Food News and Chews, Sunday night at 11 on Fox 56.
Advertise your product or service on shows like this one. Contact Media 7 Broadcasting today. Call 859-317-4565 or email sales@m7bg.com. Reach potential new customers in the Louisville, Lexington, and other central Kentucky areas. Get your new ad produced for free by Media 7's audio and video professionals. Call 859-317-4565 today and let Media 7 create a marketing plan for you.
Hello, my name is Bob. Recently, I switched my business phone service to Glow Telecom. Now I'm saving over 50% on my monthly phone bills, over $2,000 a year. And I have a PBX phone system that would have cost me over $10,000. Unlimited calling to the US and Canada with no long distance charges. If you want to put money back in your wallet, call Glow Telecom today.
Call Glow Telecom at 888-428-0984. 888-428-0984.
Welcome to Kentucky's largest commercial restaurant equipment and supply store. Seaworth Superstore is a 15,000 square foot chef's treasure chest.
Seaworth Superstore is the store for those in the restaurant industry, churches, and catering. Find chefware, large equipment, refrigeration unit, about anything needed for a volume event. Seaworth Superstore, in business since 1954, offering free local delivery, so come on in and get hooked immediately.
And a complete line of chef apparel. Seaworth Superstore, located at 1403 Versailles Road and seaworthsuperstore.com.